Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal, a divine messenger, delivering messages to you from the high realms. Welcome in everyone. Alright, so let's get started on some cards. See what the energy is coming out for today. You know, we have this super full moon, I believe tomorrow, November 5th. Yeah, so we've got this very powerful super moon energy. Okay, so I'm curious to see what's coming out with the energies surrounding this moon. I haven't really got to investigate it too much, so I don't know what sign it's in or anything, but I'm sure I'll be doing some readings surrounding the moon later. Let's just get into the cards today and see. But it is fun to catch my readings in real time. I let you know about the cosmic alignments, what's going on in the cosmos. Normally I know a lot more. So if you want to catch them in real time, subscribe to the channel. All my content over here is free, just so you know. You know, I know a lot of the apps now are, you know, when subscribing, you know, you're joining and paying for membership. Mine, the content's still free, so. Okay, the King of Cups is coming out with the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. Oh, okay. I just heard like divine waiting. Divine waiting. Divine's like waiting on something. Something is coming together. But some obstacles or blockages maybe needed to be removed here with the Knight of Wands. You know, maybe I was getting something with spiritual court earlier. Maybe they were waiting on some sort of ruling. Okay, maybe something needed to be ruled upon. I heard an extraction. What? I almost fell out of my chair. I literally was trying to slide over more and I about like fell out of my chair. I don't know. Everything insignificant in a reading. Move out the way. Maybe somebody is getting dethroned. Like I about like fell on my butt right out of the chair. Ace of Pentacles is here. Maybe someone's getting knocked out. Strength card is here. Three of Pentacles and the Chariot. I'm trying to see how I feel with the distraction. Like, is this something that needs to be allowed in? Seven of Cups, Four of Swords. With the King of Pentacles. See, I was wondering if this is something like you have to choose. Like, is Divine waiting on you to make a choice? The Two of Cups, Five of Cups, Two of Pentacles, all those three are being shown to me right there. See, and the Two of Pentacles is about a choice. So, yeah, you get to make a choice if you want to end something or not. And then there's fast movement. Yeah, some sort of contract. I know I've been talking about this for some time over here. Where somebody went against a contract. Somebody reneged on a contract. And I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Reneged, whatever. But they're using that term because this is like an old contract. Okay, this is like a very, like, I don't know if, this is what it's giving. This is like a contract that has played out over many lifetimes. Meaning that it's like, maybe this has to do with like a twin flame contract. Like maybe this is where it's like every lifetime these two come contracted to do mission work together, to align. And it's like in this lifetime or whatever, they were getting closer and closer, maybe the closest ever to union. Okay, to fulfilling, you know, because either way, even though they're contracted to work, like they still were working, but I don't know, but it's like something happened in this lifetime where somebody went against the contract. So I don't know if they go against the contract each time and then it ends and then, you know, it resumes in the next lifetime. I don't know all the specifics with it. Spirit, what is it? Yeah, okay. In every lifetime they do this. Maddie, let your brother in. So in every lifetime they go against the contract. So this is the time where it's finally like, it's went to spiritual court. Like it's had multiple, it's the bottom one. They've had multiple lifetimes to get this right. Oh, you look so cute. It's Tuesday. Sorry. Anyway, so they've had multiple lifetimes to get this right. And this, it's like, this, because of where we're at, this was like the final chance to get it right. You know, and I've been getting that for a little while. Like, this was like the final lifetime because of where we are at collectively. It's like if it couldn't be begotten, I don't know why they're saying begotten, but if it couldn't have been begotten by this lifetime, I don't know, they're just having me say it this way. If it couldn't have been begotten by this lifetime, then this contract is void. Like, it needed to be end. Like, it was going to go to spiritual court if it... Basically, this was like the last chance to get it right. And it's like, if they went against the contract, you know how like with like the legal system, even in our 3D realm, like it takes a while before you finally got to go to court and you finally got to deal with some stuff, right? Like you've got so many chances, so many like rollover of court hearings, and it's like, but you do too much, it finally goes in front of the judge, okay, for a ruling. And that's what I feel like has happened. This is something where it's finally now it's getting ruled upon. Someone has done too much. We're at the end game, and now a ruling is afoot. And that's where I feel like the divine, like the waiting, is that's where I know. I was even saying in the reading I was giving yesterday, like I feel like something is like going on like right now. You know, like literally being handled right now. Like, and that's what I feel like, that this is being handled in spiritual court like right now. That's why I say it's more fun if you're catching my readings in real time, because if you're catching this later, I mean, chances are when you come into alignment with it, you're probably under the spiritual ruling. But maybe for whoever, I don't know, whoever is like connecting with me right now, I don't really know how all the timing works, because I know that Spirit will use my messages or whatever to enlighten and teach others, even though a part you might not be going through. So for some of you, like this could have already happened. The ruling might have already happened, and that might be why you're starting to see things change, or you're starting to feel as though something lifted. Like for some of you, you feel as though you've been cursed, or you have been stuck in karmic contracts. Like if you feel like you were in some sort of bound to some sort of contract, and like you were trying to get out of it, but Spirit like kept aligning you with it, like you were stuck in it because you were in a spiritual contract. You were almost indebted to this contract. Like you had to, the only way you were going to get out of this contract was for it to be removed, for it to be lifted, for it to be done, for it to be voided, for it to be cleared out. And because why it was so strong and so hard for you to be able to release this contract was because, see, it went on over lifetimes. So this was a very, very strong karmic bond. Like the ethereal cords that were tied to this spread throughout lifetimes. So it's taken a lot of divine work and severing and redirections, and things need to be ruled upon. For some of you, like if this was a twin flame and like your twin flame went rogue, just couldn't get it right, couldn't integrate with you. Like for some of you, like you have fully gotten access to your twin. So you had to fully integrate all of like the work, the powers, the gifts, everything within your twin. And now you have came into union whole and complete within yourself. So do you see what I mean? Do you see how many different like divine work, severing, transfers had to happen to take this? So this could have been something where like it was a process of like a transference, a changeover of you integrating with yourself, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's literally like it's something where it can just be washed like that. And you know what I mean? Like, it took some time, right? And also to make sure, and for some of this, like for some, like it was like, even though this the contract gets taken away from the unawakened twin or the karmic twin or whatever, like they still have certain like justice, like they have to, you know what I mean, like they have to serve karma too, and some of it was allowed for their karma to like see you getting what you needed to receive. And that's, you know what I mean, like they needed to understand, because part of it, you know, is it's to teach them or whatever, to show them different things, but also for a lot of you, because you were so tied, and them being protected and being attached to you is why this needed to be so delicately. You know what I mean? Like, that's why divine ones, chosen beings, like you're protected from karma of others. Like, that's why they're protected under you, because you're attached to them etherically, energetically. So like you feel, and especially a lot of the chosen, you know, you're highly empathic, that you feel these things, and you will take on and shield people from their karma, from their burdens, from their pain, you know, and things. So that's what I'm getting. Like, this needed to be handled very delicately, and also because there were certain contracts and there were certain lessons and things that the twin, the counterpart, needed to learn and experience. Like, all of these things had to be like 100% for this integration, for this to happen, because it, you know what I mean? It's like everything was being watched, monitored, recorded. They're showing me like a whole bunch of switches from green to red, like you had to pass every single thing, had to be green lit before it could be removed. Like, that's what they're showing. So for some of you, you could have felt as though you were going through certain tests over and over again. Or you might have been like, gosh, like I already went through this, but maybe this specific situation or scenario that you went through was, you may have mastered part of it, but you had to go through this certain experience or situation because to pass all three levels of this certain circumstance. Do you know what I mean? And like maybe you greenlit two of them, but then the third one, you know what I mean? Like, if you ever taken like a test and like you have to get like 90% correct to pass that, you can only get 1 or 2 wrong. Well, maybe it's one of those where like you were still getting 3 or 4 wrong, so you're having to take the same test over again. So that's why things are feeling a little bit redundant, because you're like, I already went through this, but you still weren't passing certain things. So they were looking for 100% perfection, right? Okay. So for some of you, that's why it could have felt like you were backtracking, you were having to go back through certain things. Okay. Wow. All right. So that's what I mean. There's been a lot of work that's needed to go into this for this divine severing, we're calling this. Okay. And for new contracts and new alignments, new things to be integrated, because you weren't just going to be like left on the cold. For a lot of you, it's like a changeover, like a handover. You know, I've been talking about like for some of you, like your twins, your false twins, your fallen twins have turned into handlers, basically. And so they've still had access to you and still been able to, you know, to work with you, but things have been limited, right? But it's also because they're meant to prepare you to finalize, to finish preparing you and elevating you for your higher level love, or for your kingdom spouses that are coming in. So that is what is going on right now. Okay, so wow, yeah, judgment. So divine has been handling all of the finishing touches, finalizing all of the things, right? So that's what I mean, like, even though I'm giving this reading collectively, everybody's on different energetic paths, right? So, like, part of this may resonate with you. You could be at this point where you know, you're still going through some of these tests that need to be finalized, integrated. Some of you may find this when you've already passed all of the tests and your new contracts are integrating. Maybe that's why you're like, oh my gosh, well, like, I know that I went through everything with this person and I learned everything, but see, that's why it can be so difficult for you to like detach, to remove, because you know that this was like your person, that yeah, you understand the mission, the assignment, you know that you've elevated and you learned. And that's where I've been hung up for a while, is because I'm like, well, no, I'm still learning lessons and all of this. So I understand what they're doing with the divine suffering and the separation and all of this, but I'm like, but I'm still learning lessons. I'm still, you know what I mean? I can see the tests, I can see the challenges, not, you know what I mean? And I'm like, why? And that's why I've even been questioning. I'm like, well, why do I have to keep going back? Why, you know, what is this? You know what I mean? Is it because, you know, they're wanting me to keep experiencing these things to try to awaken my twin to their lesson? For some of you, that's what it is. And I've talked about that too. Like, if your twin is unawakened, unaligned, like, they will keep pulling you down the downward spiral with them. They will keep you bound energetically to the level, to the lessons, to the whatever that they are on. Right? That's why for some of you, like, you have to detach to set yourself free, because if they're bound to the devil and dark forces and things like that, and certain timelines, they're going to pull you down those timelines too. And that's why for some of you, you couldn't, like, feel like you could get away, because there's some of you would have felt like you had to cut and completely detach, but it's really hard to do that because of there being such strong etheric cords. And that's what I mean. And this stems through lifetimes. So that's what I mean, is the only way that this could be like successfully severed, integrated, and all of that was by divine intervention, divine help, right? So that's what I mean. Like, this is taking a process. Okay. All right. So you're either going to understand this or you're not. Take whatever you feel is for you, right? Like I said, the twin flame journeys are very unique. Everyone is unique and individual, but we do our best to try to read these collectively, right? Okay. But this may open up and awaken some more guidance for you to understand what's been taking so long, why you have been feeling the push and the pull, the release and the letting go. How much time do I have left? Oh, I'm almost done here. I only have 18:23 available for this reading. I'm at 17:19. Okay, sometimes those numbers are significant that I feel to call out when I'm told to look at the timestamp, and you could look into source code numbers and get more messages beyond them. All right, so let's get a few more cards here. So the Fool. So the new beginning is here with the Seven of Pentacles after a time of waiting. Yeah, look, Seven of Swords to the Four of Pentacles. See, for a lot of you, like, they're holding on to you heavy, right? You know, Justice, Six of Pentacles. Well, that's what I mean. Things are being... They've reached their last chances, and the final rulings are coming down in spiritual court. So you're going to be seeing them. And with this big full moon coming, this has got to be a big, right? It's the full moon, not the new moon. So this is a big time of closure and finalizing and closing these things out, I feel, as you're finding this reading. So definitely subscribe to the channel, watch more content. The more you interact